The moment a kind landscaper offered to help fix a broken shelf, my children and I began rebuilding more than furniture. My name is Grace. I am 32 years old. I live in a small town. The town is near big mountains in the United States. It is a quiet place. There are many green trees. The winters are cold. We had many more years ahead of us, many more adventures, many more quiet moments in the garden. I had 2 children. I was happy. I thought my life would always be good. But life can change fast. I met my husband when I was 20. His name was Caleb. The moment a kind landscaper offered to help fix a broken shelf, I had 2 children. I was happy. I thought my life would always be good. He was 30 years old. Some people said he was too old for me. We had a small wedding. It was in a wooden church near a lake. I wore a blue dress. Caleb wore a white shirt and black pants. It was simple. The people are nice. For many years, my life was good. I had a husband. His hands were strong. His heart was kind. I felt safe with Caleb. We got married when I was 21. He had black hair like Caleb. He had big brown eyes. He was a quiet baby. He liked music. When Luke was 2, we had a girl. Her name was Emily. She had my smile. She had Caleb's strong hands. She cried a lot at night, but it was special. My mother cried happy tears. Caleb's father gave us his old house. Caleb worked in his shop behind the house. I cooked food in our small kitchen. Every Sunday we went to the market together. Life was busy, but it was beautiful. Caleb always helped me. He said, "Grace, you must learn about the business. If something happens to me, you must know how to do things." 2 years later, we had our first baby. It was a boy. His name was Luke. I talked to people who bought our tables and chairs. Caleb was happy with my work. One winter evening, everything changed. We were eating dinner with friends. They came to celebrate Caleb's new job. He made tables for the town school, but her laugh made us happy. Our house was full of noise. The children played and laughed. I listened to him. I helped with the work. I wrote bills. Later that night, everyone went home. Caleb sat on the couch. His face looked tired. He had sweat on his face. He said, "I feel strange. Maybe I work too much." I gave him water, but he did not drink it. He closed his eyes. He said, "My chest hurts." I was scared. I called the doctor, but it was too late. He said, "It was hard work, but I liked it." I asked him to wake up, but Caleb was gone. The next few days were very hard. People came to our house. They brought food and flowers. They said, "Be strong," and he is in a better place now. Caleb's heart stopped. He died in front of me. I screamed. I held his hands. Emily was 7 years old. They did not understand everything, but they knew something was wrong. Emily cried every night. Luke did not talk much. He sat near the window and looked outside. I stopped smiling. I stopped eating. I stayed in bed most days. My mother came to help me, but even she could not make me feel better. One night, I heard a small voice near my bed. It was Emily. "Mom," she said softly, "please don't leave us too. We need you." Everyone was happy. They said good things about Caleb. Caleb smiled, but I did not feel strong. I felt like my world ended. Luke was 9 years old. I said, "I will not go anywhere. I am here." The next morning, I got out of bed. I made breakfast. It was only bread and eggs, but it felt like a big step. Luke smiled when he saw me in the kitchen. Emily hugged me. I started doing small things again. I washed clothes. I cleaned the house. Something inside me changed that night. I sat up. I held Emily close. His tools were still on the table. I touched the wooden chair he was making. A tear fell down my face. Then I remembered Caleb's words. "You must know how to do things." I helped Luke with his schoolwork. I went to Caleb's workshop. It was cold and full of dust. I started learning slowly. I called one person and said, "I will try to finish your table." It was not easy. I made mistakes. I cried a lot, but I tried. One day, I found a paper in Caleb's drawer. My name was on it. I opened it. My hands were shaking. Inside was a letter. "Dear Grace," it said, "if you read this, I am not with you now. Please do not cry too much." So I opened his notebook. He wrote everything down. Names of people, prices, pictures. "And take care of yourself too. Life is still beautiful. You just need to look for the light again. Love always, Caleb." I held the letter to my chest. It felt like he was still with me. His words gave me strength. After that, I worked harder. I finished the table he started. "You are stronger than you think. Take care of Luke and Emily. They need you. Caleb would be happy." I smiled for the first time in many months, but inside, I still felt alone. I missed Caleb's voice. I missed his smile. I missed his laugh. I showed it to the person who bought it. They said, "This is perfect." Some nights I cried quietly. I did not want the children to hear me. Time passed slowly. Winter became spring. Then it became summer. I kept working. The business grew. I missed how he held my hand when we walked to the lake, but they did not know how empty I felt inside. One evening, I walked home from the market. I got a helper to carry heavy wood. People started saying, "You are doing well, Grace. Come learn and meet others." I stopped and looked at the sign for a long time. I did not know why, but something inside me said, "Try it." Maybe I wanted to be with people. Maybe I wanted something new. Maybe I was ready for a small change. I looked at the sky. It was pink because the sun was going down. I thought of Caleb. I thought of his letter. I saw a sign on a wall. It said, "Sewing class every Thursday at 6 p.m. I touched the letter in my coat. I carried it with me every day. So I decided to go to the class. Before I tell you more of my story, I want to ask you something. Where are you listening from? It makes me strong to know someone hears my words. Someone who understands me. Please tell me in the comments. I would love to know. Life is still beautiful. You just need to look for the light again. On my first day, I walked in quietly. I looked around. The room smelled like flowers and soap. There were 6 women sitting at a table. The sewing class was in a small building near the bread shop. "Hello there. You must be new," she said. Her name was Mia. She was the teacher. She was older, maybe 50 years old. She had gray hair and a warm voice. They had colorful thread and cloth in front of them. One woman looked up and smiled. Mia showed me how to hold the needle. She showed me how to pull the thread gently. She showed me how to make small lines. My hand shook at first, but Mia said, "Don't worry. We all start like this." I liked the feeling of soft cloth in my hands. "Come sit next to me," she said kindly. I sat down and looked at the cloth in front of me. I liked the soft voices telling stories. I did not talk much, but I listened. After class, I helped clean up. Mia said, "Would you like to come again next week?" "Yes," I said softly. "Thank you." I started going every Thursday. It felt good to leave the house for something that was just for me. Emily always said, "Mom, show me what you made." Luke smiled and said, "That looks good." I liked the quiet in the room. I liked the sound of soft laughter. He was tall and had big shoulders. His jacket had dust on it. He looked like he worked outside. Mia saw me and waved. "Grace, come here. I want you to meet my nephew." One evening, I walked into the building. I saw Mia talking to a man near the door. His name was Corey. He was 29 years old. He worked with gardens. He planted trees and took care of the parks in town. "Nice to meet you," Corey said. He put out his hand to shake my hand. The man turned around. He had light brown hair and soft blue eyes. He had a kind smile. Mia said. Corey came to help me fix the broken shelf in the back room. I smiled and walked past them into the class. But I could feel Corey looking at me for a moment. My heart beat a little faster. I did not know why. After that day, I saw Corey a few more times. He came to the building to fix small things for Mia. Once he helped put up new lights. Another time he carried boxes to her car. He always said hello to me. "You too," I said. I tried not to turn red. Corey was there fixing a loose table leg. He smiled and said, "You always help." "That is nice. I just like to keep busy," I said. I put some cloth in a box. Sometimes we talked a little. One evening, I stayed after class to help fold clothes. I stopped moving. My fingers stopped. "I mean," he said quickly, "only if you feel good about it. No pressure." I looked at him. He seemed honest and calm. I felt nervous, but I also felt a little curious. "Okay," I said quietly. We met at a small coffee shop 2 streets away. It was warm inside. The air smelled like sweet things and coffee. Corey looked at me for a second. Then he said, "Would you like to have coffee with me sometime?" Corey told me about his work with flowers and trees. He loved nature. He talked about how peaceful it was to plant things and watch them grow. I told him about Caleb. I told him about Luke and Emily. I did not say anything, but I told enough to help him understand. He did not stop me. He did not ask too many questions. We sat near the window and talked for hours. I understand that pain takes time. Something about his words touched me. We both knew loss. Maybe that is why I felt safe talking to him. After that evening, Corey and I started meeting more often. Sometimes he walked with me to the market. Sometimes he came by to help with small things in the workshop. One day he brought Emily a little flower pot. Her name was painted on it. "For you," he said, "you can grow your own flowers." Emily's eyes became bright. "Thank you," she said. She hugged the pot. Luke was more quiet, but he watched Corey carefully. Corey never tried too hard. He did not force anything. He just came, helped, and smiled. One Saturday, Corey came with us to the park. The children ran around while we sat on a bench. "You are good with them," I said. "They are great kids," he said. We sat quietly for a while. The sun was warm on our faces. "Do you ever feel bad for smiling again?" I asked him quietly. Corey looked at me. Then he spoke slowly. "Yes, for a long time. But someone once told me that love does not end. It changes shape. You do not lose the past. You just find room for the future." His words stayed with me. That night, I sat in the workshop. I looked at Caleb's photo on the shelf. I thought about our life. I thought about his letter. "You are stronger than you think. Life is still beautiful." Was it okay to feel something again? Was it okay to smile with someone new? One evening, I told Emily and Luke that Corey was coming for dinner. Emily clapped her hands. "Yay," Luke just said. "Okay." He did not smile, but he did not look angry either. We made soup and baked bread. Corey brought cake from the bakery. After dinner, he helped Luke fix a toy car. He taught Emily how to water the little plant the right way. Later, after the kids went to bed, I walked Corey to the door. "Thank you for coming," I said. "I like being here," he said. "You have a beautiful family." I looked down. I do not know where this is going. I still think about Caleb every day. "You should," Corey said. "He is part of your life. I do not want to take his place. I just want to be here if you let me." Tears came to my eyes, but I smiled. "I do not know what the future holds," I said. "Let's find out together," he said gently. Weeks became months. Corey and I continued to see each other. Slowly, he became a part of our world. He helped Emily with her schoolwork about butterflies. He played ball with Luke in the garden. On rainy days, we stayed inside and made cookies. We laughed and listened to music. We talked about simple things. I still had sad moments, but they became fewer. My heart, once quiet and cold, was learning to feel warm again. One afternoon, I was walking through the market with Emily. She looked up at me and said, "Mom, do you love Corey?" I stopped and looked at her small face. "I do not know," I said. but I care about him a lot. She smiled. I like him. He makes you smile. That evening, I sat with Luke while he did his homework. Do you miss Dad? I asked softly. Luke put down his pencil. Yes, he said. Every day. I took a deep breath. What do you think about Corey? He was quiet for a moment. Then he said, he is not Dad, but he is nice. He never tries to act like he is Dad. That is good. I felt tears behind my eyes. Would it be okay if Corey stayed in our life? I asked. Luke looked at me and gave a small smile. I think so. That night, I went for a walk alone. The air was cool. The sky was full of stars. I walked to the small bridge near the park. Caleb and I used to take the children there when they were babies. I stood there and looked at the water moving slowly under the moon. I closed my eyes. I do not know, I said, but I care about him a lot. She smiled. But I want you to know the kids are happy again. My heart, once quiet and cold, was learning to feel warm again. I walked to the small bridge near the park. But I want you to know the kids are happy again. But I want you to know the kids are happy again. I stayed there a little longer. I let go of some of the pain I held inside for years. Caleb, I whispered, I still miss you every single day. There is someone who brings peace into our home. He is not you, but he is gentle. We watched the children draw pictures on the ground with chalk. I have something for you, he said. He gave me the box. Inside was a silver key on a chain. This is the key to my house, he said. I want you to have it. Not because I want to rush anything, but because I want you to know I am here for real. For you and the kids. I held the key in my hand. It felt heavy and light at the same time. A few weeks later, Corey came to the house with a small box in his hands. I looked at him. What if I want you to move in with us instead? Corey smiled. That would make me happy. So we talked to the children again. We asked them how they felt. We asked if they were okay with Corey living with us. Emily jumped up and hugged him. Luke said, It is okay. Just do not take my room. We laughed together. It was a good sign. A month later, Corey moved into our home. We did not have a big party. We did not tell the whole town. We just took one small step after another. He brought a few of his things, a box of books, his guitar, some plants for the window. The house felt a little fuller. You do not have to move in today or next week, he said. Just when you are ready. Luke tapped his pencil to the music. I watched them from the kitchen. I felt a kind of peace I had not known in years. We were sitting outside in the garden. He smiled but did not say anything. Maybe, I said, one day. But you were married to Dad, Luke said. Yes, I said, and I loved him very much. But it is okay to love again. Luke thought for a second and said, Dad would want you to be happy. I kissed the top of his head. Yes, I think so too. I still talk to Caleb sometimes. A little warmer. Some evenings, Corey played soft songs on his guitar. Emily danced around. When I hear a song we used to love, when I see Luke's eyes or Emily's laugh, he is still here. Not in the room, not in the chair, but in the way we live. In the way I care for the kids. In the way I learned to keep going even when it was hard. Corey never asked me to forget. He never tried to erase the past. He just offered to walk beside me as I moved forward. And that is what I needed. Today, our life is not perfect. Some days are still quiet. Some days I miss Caleb so much it hurts. But now I know that pain and love can live together. I do not have to choose one or the other. My heart is like a house with two doors. One door holds memories. One opens to the future. I keep both doors open. And that is okay. 2 years passed. Life is calm now. Corey was part of our family. Luke was 11. Emily was 9. They grew taller every day. One morning, Emily ran into the kitchen. Not out loud, but in my heart. When I walk past the lake where we used to go, it had white flowers. Corey was right. I can grow flowers. I smiled and touched her hair. Yes, you can do many things. Luke walked in with his school bag. The flowers are pretty, he said. He was not a boy of many words. But when he spoke, his words were kind. Corey came in from the garden. His hands had dirt on them. His face was happy. "Good morning," he said. He kissed my cheek softly. "The new trees are growing well." We sat at the table for breakfast. Corey made coffee. I made eggs and bread. The children ate quickly. They talked about school. Luke had a math test. "Mom, look," she said. She held up her little plant. It had grown big. "Who will you draw?" I asked Emily. She thought for a moment. "You, me, Luke, and Corey. And I will draw Dad watching from the sky." My heart felt warm and sad at the same time. That sounds beautiful. After the children left for school, Corey and I sat in the quiet kitchen. The morning sun came through the window. It made everything look gold. "Are you happy?" Corey asked me. I looked at him. His blue eyes were soft. "Yes," I said. "Are you?" "Very happy," he said. He took my hand. "Grace, I want to ask you something." My heart beat faster. "What is it?" Corey was quiet for a moment. He looked at our hands together. Emily had to draw a picture of her family. I felt tears come to my eyes. Happy tears. "Corey, you do not have to answer now," he said quickly. "I just wanted you to know. I love you. I love Luke and Emily too. We are already a family. But I want to make it real." I touched his face with my free hand. "I love you too," I said. "But I need time to think." He smiled. "All the time you need." That afternoon, I walked alone to the lake. "I want to marry you. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday, when you are ready." The water was blue and calm. Birds sang in the trees. I sat on the old wooden bench. I took out Caleb's letter. I read it again. The paper was soft now from being touched so many times. "You are stronger than you think. Life is still beautiful. You just need to look for the light again. I closed my eyes. "Caleb," I whispered, "Corey wants to marry me. I think you would like him. He is good to the children. He is good to me. He makes us laugh. What should I do?" The wind moved through the trees. It sounded like a soft answer. A small bird landed near my feet. It looked at me with bright eyes. Then it flew away. I sat there for a long time. I thought about the past. I thought about the future. I thought about love and loss and hope. It was the place where Caleb and I used to go. Corey was cooking dinner. The house smelled like warm food and flowers from the garden. "Mom, where did you go?" Emily asked. "I went to the lake," I said. "I went to think." Luke looked up from his book. "Did you think good thoughts?" I smiled. "Yes, I did." That evening, after dinner, we sat in the living room. Corey played his guitar. The music was soft and sweet. Emily drew pictures. Luke read a book. I worked on my sewing. The room was full of peace. This was our life now. Simple and quiet and good. "Emily," I said, "can you come here?" Emily put down her crayons and came to me. "Yes, Mom?" I pulled her close. "Are you happy with Corey living here?" "Yes," she said without thinking. "He teaches me about flowers. He makes you smile. He helps Luke with his toys. What if Corey became more than just someone who lives here? What if he became your stepfather?" Emily's eyes got big. "You mean like marry you?" "Yes." Emily looked at Corey. He was still playing guitar. He pretended not to listen, but I could see his small smile. "Would he still be nice to us?" Emily asked. "Yes, even nicer." "Would we still remember Dad?" My heart squeezed. "Always. Forever and always." Emily nodded. "Then I think it is good." Later, when Emily was in bed, I talked to Luke. We sat on his bed. His room had pictures of cars and planes on the walls. "Luke," I said, "how do you feel about Corey?" Luke put down his book. "He is a good man," he said. "He does not try to be Dad. He is just Corey. What if Corey and I got married?" Luke was quiet for a long time. He looked at his hands. "Would you be happy?" "I think so." "Would Corey be happy?" "Yes." "Would Dad be okay with it?" I felt tears behind my eyes. "I think Dad would want us to be happy." Luke nodded slowly. "Then it is okay with me. But can I still have Dad's picture in my room?" "Of course. Dad will always be your father. Nothing will change that." Luke smiled his small, quiet smile. "Good." A week later, I found Corey in the garden. He was planting new flowers. The dirt was dark and rich. The air smelled like spring. "Corey," I said. He looked up. His face was hopeful but scared. "Yes," I said. "Yes, what?" he asked, but his smile told me he knew. "Yes, I will marry you." Corey stood up fast. He picked me up and spun me around. I laughed. I felt light and free. "Really?" he asked. He put me down but kept his arms around me. "Really?" I said. He kissed me then, soft and sweet, like a promise. That evening, we told the children. Emily jumped up and down. "A wedding," she said. "Can I wear a pretty dress?" Luke smiled. "Will there be cake?" We laughed. "Yes to both," Corey said. We planned a small wedding. Just family and close friends. We would have it in the same wooden church where Caleb and I got married. It felt right. The night before the wedding, I could not sleep. I walked to the window and looked at the stars. They were bright and beautiful. Emily came into my room. "Mom, are you okay?" "Yes, sweetheart, just thinking." Emily climbed into bed with me. "Are you scared?" "A little," I said, "but good scared, happy scared." "I am excited," Emily said. "Tomorrow will be special." "Yes, it will." We lay in the dark together. Emily fell asleep in my arms. I listened to her soft breathing. I thought about how much had changed, how much we had all grown. The wedding day was sunny and warm. The church was full of flowers, white and yellow and pink. They smelled like heaven. I wore a simple white dress. Emily wore blue like the sky. Luke wore a dark suit. He looked so grown up. My mother cried happy tears again, just like she did at my first wedding. Some tears are the same, even when everything else is different. Corey waited for me at the front of the church. He wore a gray suit. His eyes were bright with tears, happy tears. As I walked toward him, I felt Caleb with me. Not sad, not holding me back, just there. Like he was saying, "Go, be happy. I love you." The wedding was short and sweet. We said simple words. We promised to love and care for each other. We promised to be a family. When we kissed, Emily clapped. Luke smiled his biggest smile ever. "I love you." The wedding was short and sweet. We said simple words. Everyone laughed and cried at the same time. The children ran around with other kids. The adults talked and laughed. Everything was perfect. As the sun went down, we went home. Our home. All four of us together. "Are you happy, Mrs. Grace?" Corey asked. He used my new name. I looked around at our family. Luke was teaching Emily a card game. They were laughing. The house was warm and full of love. "Yes," I said. "I am very happy." That night, after the children were asleep, Corey and I sat on the porch. The stars were out. The air was cool and sweet. "I have something for you," I said. I gave him Caleb's letter. Corey read it slowly. When he finished, he had tears in his eyes. "Thank you for sharing this with me," he said. "Caleb would want you to have it too," I said. "You are part of our story now." Corey folded the letter carefully. "I will take good care of it." "Thank you for sharing this with me," he said. "Caleb would want you to have it too," I said. I thought about the past few years, the pain, the healing, the new love. Life was not easy, but it was beautiful. A few months later, Emily brought home a school paper. It was about her family. She had drawn all of us. Me, Luke, Corey, and in the corner, a small picture of Caleb with wings. She read her paper out loud. "My family is special. I have a mom who is strong. I have a brother who is smart. I have a stepfather who is kind. And I have a dad in heaven who loves us. My heart was so full it might break. But this time, it would break from happiness. Luke listened to his sister read. When she finished, he said, "That was good, Emily." Corey wiped his eyes. "Very good." That evening, I stood in the kitchen making dinner. Through the window, I could see Corey and the children in the garden. He was teaching them about vegetables. They were laughing. The house was full of good smells: chicken, bread, and flowers. The sun made everything golden. Music played softly on the radio. This was my life now, not perfect, but full of love, full of hope, full of second chances. I thought about the woman I was 3 years ago, broken and lost. I thought about the woman I am now, still sad sometimes, but strong, still healing, but I'm happy. Love does not end. It grows. It changes. It makes room for new people and new dreams. I looked at Caleb's picture on the shelf. "Thank you," I whispered, "for loving me first, for teaching me that I am strong, for giving me Luke and Emily, for showing me that it is okay to love again." The picture seemed to smile back at me. Outside, I heard Corey laugh at something Emily said. I heard Luke ask a question about the plants. I heard the birds singing in the trees. These were the sounds of my new life, different from my old life, but just as beautiful. I walked to the door and called out, "Dinner is ready." They came running in, dirty and happy. We washed hands together. We sat at the table together. We shared food and stories and love. This is what healing looks like. This is what hope sounds like. This is what it means to love again after loss. Life is still beautiful. You just have to look for the light again. And sometimes, the light looks different than you expected, but it is still light, and it is still beautiful, and that is enough. If this story about love, loss, and second chances touches your heart, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need hope today. Subscribe to Kaviko English Storytime for more inspiring stories that heal the soul and strengthen your English.